how much XRP in the real world is still accessible on exchanges right now. There is a lot of fresh data being added. The greatest one I could locate is this one. To let you know what's happening with the quantity of XRP in the industry overall, I want to go over that with you now. Are you prepared to go in? Come on, let's do it. All right? I detest reading such things. It appears to be squeezed together. I sent Lexi the entire thing, word for word. Let me go to Lexi, please. All right? First response. Exchanges that deal in XRP are loose. On well-known retail centralized exchanges like Binance, Upbit, BitThump, OKX, and others, there are roughly 5 to 6 billion XRP kept in exchange wallets. This is predicated on the most recent market research and on-chain statistics as of late November 2025. The current outflows are shown by the number. Binance alone had over 2.71 billion XRP, which is roughly 300 million fewer than it did in early October and 100 million less than it did in mid-November. The total reserves across tracked centralized exchanges have decreased steadily since the XRP ETF's introduction, with over 73 million XRP being withdrawn in the last day alone. This indicates a potential supply shock and reduced sell-side pressure as institutional demand for ETFs increases. Approximately $670 million in XRP has already been received by those locations. Remember that not all smaller exchanges report clearly and that actual totals are constantly changing due to transfers and withdrawals. This figure is the most recent total from reliable sources like Community Track Data and CryptoQuant. Of the 56 billion XRP in circulation, between 9 and 11% are in this quantity. How long will ETFs hold it? The latest statistics as of November 28th, 2025, indicates that over the last 3 trading days from November 25th to the 27th, Bitwise, Canary Capital, Gayscale, and Franklin Templeton's XRP spot ETFs saw daily net inflows of over 26 million USD. This is to completely absorb the 6 billion XRP in loose liquidity from retail exchanges, with XRP currently valued at $220. It would take roughly 422 days to reach 5 billion XRP at current rate. The daily addition of approximately 11.8 million XRP to these ETFs is equivalent to this. It would require roughly 566 days. This is predicated on constant, non-increasing rates. During the initial days of launch, between 70 and 80 million XRP were sent daily. However, the market has recently leveled out, and purchasing ETFs uses exchange liquidity directly rather than relying heavily on over-the-counter OTC sources. Over 11 trading days from the commencement on November 13th, a total of 28 million XRP had been exchanged. This would now reduce the duration to between 179 and 214 days. I would also like to add that I do not believe that there are 5 or 6 billion XRP. Some of this has probably previously been mentioned. Determining which wallets contain XRP for clients and which are empty is challenging. According to Jake Claver and a few others, there are between 2 and 3 billion XRP on the market. Many individuals, of course, keep their cryptocurrencies on markets, but that's another story. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Many people don't believe that to be secure. They transfer their funds to custody pockets and other like locations, which is why I think the amount is rather lower. Let's make use of these 5 or 6 billion dollars. That's what you would be witnessing. One might assume that there are 2 to 3 billion, which would be half of these times. Half of 422 days, that is 506 days, or half of 205 days. This would be roughly 253 and a half. You will receive 3 additional ETFs in the coming days. 2021 shares. I'm missing one, but I believe it's coin shares. I really apologize for it. I've been attempting to maintain. I have everything organized in my mind, but I can't seem to remember that one. Things might turn out rather nicely if that gives the statistics. We're already seeing even more volume. Additionally, these figures may decline if major announcements are made by other ETFs that open in other markets, or if the world's vanguards, Fidelities, and BlackRocks decide to enter the market. It makes sense that as the quantity on exchanges decreases, the price will need to increase even further. Some of this is done with the $220 in the schedule. Then, that might be different. All I wanted to do was provide that additional technical background with you. The quantity of XRP on platforms decreases by almost 45% in 60 days. There is currently a significant shift in the supply. According to new data from Glassnode, there were 3.95 billion XRP on September 21st. There were just 2.6 billion XRP on November 27th. This figure, in my opinion, is more consistent with what is shown. You can only acquire it from Ripple if you check the over-the-counter OTC desk, correct? Either by visiting an open market or using Ripple Prime. It's fascinating. What will OTC desks accomplish? Will they be able to live without XRP? They will, won't they? Hey, can we buy some of this escrow? Is what the OTC desk will attempt to ask Ripple. However, Ripple could refuse. Therefore, the OTC desk would need to negotiate agreements with the markets, correct? Purchase it. Since more and more people are interested in XRP, those who are interested must locate it quickly. What if we could monitor XRP users in the same manner as Ethereum or Bitcoin, but there are only 2 to 3 million XRP users worldwide? Although there are 8 million wallets, many people own multiple wallets. I do, indeed. You begin to wonder what will happen when 5, 10, or 20 million people are trading XRP and more people realize that blockchain is the payment method of the future. Oh, I don't believe I've heard or seen anything regarding this on the news. Why not? That won't take place there. They want to hide things from you. Yes, because it could change your life. They don't want you to know this. They want you to remain in the same system that you have always been a part of. And this is the thing that people wish to avoid. Isn't that why I'm thrilled to be involved? I hope to be able to say, hey, let's perhaps board the aircraft and travel to. I simply want to be able to do that in Fiji or somewhere. It's not because you enjoy it. I could do that, I suppose. But I feel constricted, don't you think? 20,000 to 30,000 in this place. Indeed, I should probably purchase more XRP. No, honey, we won't be traveling this year. All we wish to purchase is XRP. I feel that way at the moment. However, Japan is our destination. Yes, she did. That was the victory of my wife. All right, let's continue this. We veered off course. Indeed, we did. All right, I'd like to learn more about the platform's XRP supply. What are you able to do? All right, we did. I mean, I wanted to be sure the information I was providing you was accurate, so I'm double checking the data over here. Then this was what it was. All okay. So let's get more details. We did discuss Binance, but here are some additional details. It's a substantial amount. This structural indication should be taken into consideration by the market as a whole. These factors make this significant. Here I am. The XRP reserves of Binance fell to their lowest point in several years. It is currently at 2.7 billion. The largest retail and offshore XRP liquidity pool is found on Binance. There's just one thing that happens when reserves reach their lowest point in years. There is not enough XRP left for trading on the biggest exchange in the world. There are just two circumstances where this occurs: when people are preparing for institutional absorption, or when there is a large gathering. Both are currently visible to us. Demand in this era is increasing while supply is decreasing. All freshly approved XRP ETFs must be purchased on the open market rather than being sold directly according to a court injunction. I work for escrow or Ripple. This is when things become interesting. I wonder if using Ripple Prime to obtain XRP from Ripple is illegal, as ETFs will compete in a market where Binance's reserves are at all-time highs as they begin to expand. Translation will soon be required. The stock is running low. According to OTC desks, their stock of XRP has decreased. Since buyers from Asia and the Middle East increased their purchases in the third and fourth quarters,